Let's go back to articles and let's create a new article, see what's in store for us there. Here we see that we don't have many changes as far as this first area is concerned, title, alias. The categories, of course, are different. We can choose any of the nested categories, whether it's published, not published, or trashed. That's a nice touch. We have the access level. Again, this is pretty much all over Joomla now, what access level each of our items have. The language, and language seems to be better organized now in Joomla 1.6, even though only English is available in the beta version. We have the article featured or not, and I loaded a new text editor that is available for the beta version of Joomla. The regular editor that comes with the beta version is TinyMCE. On this side we have the publishing options. We can change the user, we can set the alias as usual. The article options have not changed much either, except that we have an alternate layout. Again, that was the layout that I mentioned before. The read more text, we've seen that in Joomla 1.5, and an alternate page title that we can set here in the article rather than in the menu as in Joomla 1.5. And then of course we have the article permission, and again, this one probably is worth its own podcast to go over all the options. We have meta description, meta keyword, and external reference. I thought I saw more in the alpha version. They might have dropped it. Once we have done our article, again, we can save a new. In this case, instead, we'll cancel because we're gonna go see something else. Next, we have the components. It looks like they've added some. There is a new banner system. There is contacts, messaging. We have newsfeed, search, web links, and redirect. Now, this is a nice feature. We can redirect any link to any other link. Let's go to extensions. The extension manager has had quite a bit of work done on it, even though it doesn't look like it at first sight. The one thing that I noticed immediately was the update. And right now the update doesn't tell us much because there are no updates. But from what I read, it looks like if there are updates to our components, we should know here, and therefore this should make it a lot easier keeping our Joomla site up to date with all the different components, plugins and modules. I don't know about you, but I manage some pretty big sites with lots of components, plugins and modules, and it's almost a full-time job to keep it straight. So this is a very welcome addition that hopefully extends to all the third-party developers. The Manage tab is the same as the old tab that we have in Joomla 1.5 and the previous versions, except that all the extensions are here. So we select the type of extension, whether it's a component, a module, plugin, template, language or library, and they're all here for us to work with. Then we have the Discover, and again there is nothing to discover, but I suppose that this will be kind of like the Joomla extension repository, the JD. And then we have the warnings. There are no warnings, but I suppose that if there is a security patch or a security hole in some component, it'll display here. Again, very nice. Keeping your site updated is a good practice and keeps your site safe. It's a lot more expensive to rebuild the site than to patch it. Okay, let's go on. We don't have much more to look at. We have the module manager, which except again for the various group and the CL hasn't changed a whole lot. We do have one new feature that was present in the first release, which is that we now have a built-in everywhere but here feature. Usually with Joomla we could select to show a module everywhere or on only some links. With this new feature we can choose again to show it on all pages, on no pages, only on the selected pages below, or on all pages except those selected, so is everywhere but here. It's nice to have this feature here in Joomla because there are some situations where you hit a wall without being able to do that. Again, also in the modules we have the basic options, and in the advanced option I see alternate layout, and again that has to do with the new way the template system works. Speaking of templates, I have a template right here. This is the code for the default template in the Joomla 1.6 beta, and by scrolling down we can see that the syntax is still very similar. We do have a position 1 here, and to be honest with you, I haven't had a chance to look into that. I know that in the official release for the Joomla 1.6 beta, there is a mention of semantic XHTML layouts. Also, another thing that I noticed when I was looking at the files comprising a template, this is the Bees 20 template, and if I go into the folder structure, I see that there is a font folder, so hopefully with Joomla we'll be able to choose our own fonts. And in the JavaScript folder, notice the HTML5.js. So I assume the HTML5 will play a role in the Joomla 1.6 release. Other than that, I don't see that much of a difference. The XML file looks fairly similar to the way it's been. There is still the HTML folder for the overrides, so I assume the overrides also have not changed a lot. And I see a modules PHP here, which means that we still can do our own module Chrome. That means we can create our own module HTML code like we have been able to do since Joomla 1.5. Lastly, if you download the Joomla 1.6 beta and install it on your own server, go take a look at the different sample sites that they built into this release. They are quite interesting and they showcase the capabilities of Joomla 1.6. I hope you enjoyed this issue of 10 Minute Joomla Tips and that it helped you understand a little bit more about Joomla 1.6 and the possibilities that it will bring. Just by the little that I've used it, I suspect that the upgrade system won't be as hard as it has been between Joomla 1.0 and Joomla 1.5. Going from Joomla 1.0 to Joomla 1.5, while not impossible, was certainly a bit of a chore. It required you to basically build a new site. You could import content and other things, but decided to be rebuilt. The template system was completely different and so on and so forth. Joomla 1.6 doesn't seem to me that far off. Even though it has a lot of new features, it maintains the core features, so it's very possible that the update script will be simpler than 1.0 to 1.5, or at least we can hope so. Well, I hope you enjoyed this issue of 10 Minute Joomla Tips. I'm your host Marco. 10 Minute Joomla Tips is brought to you by conticreative.com. We offer website development and Joomla training. Our Joomla training is a little different than what is offered around the web. It looks like there are 1,000 Joomla training websites these days, but we offer one-on-one training with GoToMeeting. It's a little different. If you need to get up to speed with Joomla in a hurry, a few sessions one-to-one between you and the teacher will get you up to speed very quickly. Plus, we can build your site with you, and it's a lot cheaper than hiring us to build you the site, because you'll do much of the work and we'll just check that you know enough to do that work. We only jump in when you are in real trouble. In addition, you'll be able to ask us questions via email or via phone. Once you're a student, you become a client, and you can set to build your site, even if your knowledge of Joomla or even your knowledge of web design in general is not great. We are here to do for you what you can do. We have had many students that were able to build quite complex sites that they never would have been able to on their own for less than half the price they would have cost anywhere. So if you're interested in the one-on-one training, send us an email and inquire. I want to thank everyone for watching 10 Minute Joomla Tips. Please subscribe to 10 Minute Joomla Tips at your favorite aggregator. 10 Minute Joomla Tips is syndicated through iTunes, Feedburner, YouTube, Blip TV, Vimeo, Miro, and others. There are many choices available. Also, let us know what you think. Drop an email with your thoughts about the show, ideas for new podcasts, and complaints if you have any. If you visit 10 Minute Joomla Tip on conticreative.com, remember to check out our sponsor. And if you'd like to advertise on 10 Minute Joomla Tips, contact us through the online form on conticreative.com. Once again, thank you for watching, and I wish you all a great week. Peace.